Welcome. Good afternoon. Thanks for coming. The board had obviously a very important decision to make, and we've taken some time to make that decision. We're delighted to say that we've done that today. We spoke to a very small number of excellent candidates, and I'd like to publicly thank those candidates for their interest in the job and their professionalism through the process. I'd like to make particular mention of Stuart McCall and Kenny Blagg, who have conducted themselves superbly over the last 3 months, and I think Stuart's comments today in the press sum up the class and professionalism of him. So he leaves the club with our best wishes. He'll always be welcome back here as a legend of the club, and both John and I really thank Stuart and Kenny for their help and support to us personally and to the team over the last 3 months. Having said that, we're delighted to appoint a new manager, and we'd like to ask you to welcome the 15th manager of Rangers, Mark Warburton.
Good afternoon.
That'll be a round of applause, mate. I love
See these faces. So,
Mark, very congratulations. You'll, I'm sure, be very excited at the prospect, but how big a challenge do you feel you face here?
It's look at the size of the club, the history and tradition of the club. We're very aware of that. So it's a challenge for us. It's one we're going to look forward to and relish and hopefully embrace and look to take the club forward.
How easy was it for you to feel that this was the right job for you?
I think it's important that everyone asks the right questions, both sides. Always it's important it works for both parties. So very quickly you realise the scale of the club and what it can achieve and where you hope to take it. So very quickly you realise it's a fantastic opportunity.
How prepared do you feel you are for the scrutiny that you're going to be under here?
Everyone tells me this. I don't think I'd be lying if I said you're prepared for this. You can't. You have to learn from it and hopefully learn from your mistakes. I'm sure there'll be some mistakes, but it's important to try and get it right as quickly as possible, and as I say, take the club forward.
What do you feel is your first priority here?
Playing squad is important, of course. The season's a few weeks away now, and we have to be as prepared as we possibly can. So look at the playing squad, look at what we've got, look how we can strengthen, and look at the staffing structure, the support network around the first team, and can we create the right environment for those players to develop and flourish and help take the club to where it wants to be.
Paul, you have said in recent weeks, since you've come in, that this club is broken and needs to be rebuilt. Why do you think Mark and Davey are the management team to take it forward?
well, I've said before also that what I think the vision of the new board is to build a modern football club, but actually build it on Rangers traditions and values. And I think what you have today is a combination of both of those things. Mark, who's shown himself to be a very progressive manager with lots of fresh ideas from his experience at Brentford. Davey, who obviously is a legend of the club, knows the club inside out. So I think the two of them together as a combination, as a team, we believe are the right team to take Rangers forward.
Mark, David from BBC Scotland here. At what point did you realise you wanted to be Rangers manager, and did you have any other offers on the table?
No, we had. Obviously, I think all managers and coaches have different discussions and dialogues, and it's important to ask the right questions, to understand the expectations of any club, the timescales of any club, short, medium, longer term targets of that respective club, and we asked the right questions. And as I was very impressed by the questions we were asked as well. And very quickly you realise this is, as I said earlier, a fantastic opportunity.
And you'll be expected to win automatic promotion straight away? Yes?
Our job is to take the club forward as quickly as possible in the right direction. And as I say, it's not rushing into things, it's doing the right thing, firm foundations for the club to allow that prosperity hopefully to continue.
And you and Davey have been characterised as good cop. And from people you've been speaking to, but how does the dynamic of your relationship work, and how can that take Rangers forward?
I prefer tall cop, short cop, possibly. It's great for me, being with David obviously speak. I think David's playing career speaks for itself, the knowledge, experience internationally, and the clubs he's played for, and the name he's built for himself is fantastic. That's a great asset for us as a pair going into any relationship in a dressing room. I have a different type of background, played only briefly much younger, but more of a business background, working with people. Man management now is an important and massive aspect of this role. and you have to learn to deal with different characters on and off the pitch. So I think together we've worked very well. I certainly enjoy working with David, and hopefully we can continue to learn and progress.
Yeah, your background is very different from most football managers, possibly more akin to somebody that would be on the board. I don't know if you have financial background, but are there any parallels in how you go about your business as a manager compared to your days as a high-flying city slicker?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no high-flying city slicker, by the way. It was more a case of you work in dealing rooms in tight competitive teams. You know, traders 19 to 35 years of age, you know, hugely competitive, testosterone filled, looking to earn money and to be very competitive in what they do. And that's the same as a football dressing room, you know, wherever you go to work. So there's many skills you can hopefully transfer from that environment into the football environment, and that proved to be the case at the old club and hopefully be the same here.
Mark, you said the first priority is to strengthen the squad. 11 players have left the club after the contract's up. How far down the road are you, if at all, are you to identifying new players to come in?
So that's obviously our first day today, and that's obviously an immediate priority for us. But every coach, every manager has contacts in the game and ideas of what he wants to do and what type of players he wants to attract. So we have our ideas, and our job now is to sit down with Paul, of course, and John on the board, etc., and discuss those and see if they add value to the playing squad here.
How confident are you to be able to get this club promoted for the first time?
Any competition that David and I enter, I'm sure any manager will say the same, is to go as far as we possibly can. Our aim is to win the division, of course. Every manager, any team will say that. Our job is to come in here, work with the squad, gel quickly, and be very aggressive in what we do in terms of how we want to play the game, and hopefully achieve our targets of promotion.
You signed a 3-year contract. How quickly do you think you'll be able to get this club back competing at the top of Scottish football?
So our aim is, we're playing in the Championship, our aim is to win the division. That's what we have to, that's the right answer for any manager to say. So our aim is to get the squad together, gel quickly, and think, as you say, it won't happen overnight. There's no point of sitting here lying to you and saying it's going to happen in a week's time. That's not the case. We're going to put as much work as possible into a playing squad, make the right additions that add value on and off the pitch to Rangers Football Club, and hopefully achieve that first aim.
Mark, what assurances have any of you been given about your size of budget and what you can spend? Because clearly you've not just a number of players you need to get in, you need to get high quality players as well.
The ambition of the club is very clear, and one of the questions David and I, our job is to bring suggestions to the table, players that add value to the football club. I'll repeat that just now, but add value to the club on and off the pitch. And if we can do that, then as I say, we can go to the board and have a discuss it, and I'm sure we'll get the support that we need if they're the right players. But they have to, as I say, add value on and off the pitch.
David, did you ever believe that you'd be back here so soon?
No, I didn't. No, it's, you know, it wasn't within my remit. You know, we were working at Brentford last year and enjoying a great season there. We thought we were going to be there for a while, and you know, to find yourself here again, you know, so soon, it's a bit strange, but really enjoying it. Really looking forward to the challenge, and you know, hopefully we can be very successful here.
As much as anything else, do you feel you're going to have to help Mark get used to the surroundings of Scottish football and what it means to be here at this football club?
I think hopefully I can help him with that. You know, having been here before, and Mark hasn't, but you know, I think we work well together. We've got different skills. We've got things we can help each other with. But you know, Mark's an experienced manager. He's, you know, had a lot of different experiences in different walks of life. So you know, I don't think I'll have to tell him too much. He's, you know, he's very clever in what he does, and I've got complete, you know, belief in he's going to be successful.
How different do you feel this Rangers is to the one that you left?
Time will tell. You know, obviously I've been away, and we're just back today, and this is our first day working, and you know, there's a lot of things that are the same. Obviously, you know, where the club is in actual football terms is different, and our job is to try and get it back to, you know, where it needs to be and where it wants to be. So that's, you know, that starts from now.
David, what would you say Mark's particular skill set is? What's his particular talent? How does he go about his business?
I think he's got a lot, to be honest. I think he's obviously got a business background. He, you know, so he knows how that side of the football club works. He communicates well with people, both, you know, from his previous role and you know, working with football players. And he's also a good coach. You know, don't underestimate that. He spends his time on the training ground. He wants to train. He wants to be out in the grass, you know, doing what I think he'll say enjoys most. So he's had the experience as sporting director as well. So he's got a really balanced profile in regards to what makes the modern football manager. So I think he's got great attributes, and you know, my job is just to try and help him to, you know, utilise them as well as he can to, you know, make this club successful again.
Did you speak to the guy you worked with before here, Walter, Ali, about taking the job here?
I've spoken to lots of individuals, but I don't think it's fair to, you know, mention who, you know, private conversations we've had. But that, you know, that's the case. I think you'd be a fool not to speak to people. I'm sure Mark's the same. You speak to people you've worked with and worked for, and you know, get their advice and get their opinions, and you'll continue to do that moving forward.
Mark, what do you know about the players you have here at the moment?
Looked at the squad over the last few weeks, and as I say, you can look at the various platforms and scouting platforms, but it's important to go into more detail. But I've got an idea of the playing squad right now, and I realise it's quite lean. But David and I now, the work starts today to push forward and learn as much about the squad as quickly as possible and make decisions.
The average age of the players in the team last year was 28. Is that something you're looking to bring down?
I love the young players. I like working with younger players, but again, they've got to deal with the experience of playing out front there, 45,000 people. So as players, again, going back to that value on and off the pitch, that's a big ask for a young player. So the balance is key. You want your 2 or 3 older players to offer that mentoring role and help the young players come through. But our job is to create the environment for development, whether they're young players or older players.
So the youth system here is something you're targeting as well?
I think we have to work with the youth system. There's nothing like, I think any club will tell you, the academy should be the heartbeat of the club, producing players who are passionate to play for that respective club. So that will be our aim, to make sure we work closely, give the boys the opportunity to progress, give them a pathway, and hopefully go from there.
There's also no scouting system here. Is that something you're looking to sort out soon?
Absolutely, we have to look at all of it. We have to provide the support network to help the club go forward. The support network supports the first team. That's our first obvious aim. But then it filters down through the academy and the various age groups. So of course we would have to take our time and do it right. It's about firm foundations, not short-term fixes. We have to prepare for the longer term here.
Rangers have been criticised in the past for perhaps overpaying players, certainly over the past few years. Is that culture now changed, do you think, here?
I'm sure, again, that word value is really important to us. I think you have to get value for every pound that you spend. Doesn't matter where you work, biggest or smallest, you have to get value for every pound spent, and that's David and I saying, to make sure we come to the board with players who we think represent good value.
So you reckon you'll be going probably for players that are out of contract or loan deals rather than players under contract?
It's looking around, it's looking at what's available. You know, we have to take the club as far as we can possibly take it, and our aims are very high, and it's us looking around at the market, the various markets, for players again who we think offer that value to Rangers Football Club.
Mark, you say there's no quick fix and it won't happen overnight. How difficult is that balance going to be then, given there is such pressure to get promoted this season?
That's our job. That's our job right now. We have some good players at the football club. Can we make quality additions to that squad and move it forward? And to sit here and say in 2 weeks' time we'll be doing this would be totally inappropriate. As I say, our job is to commit totally and move the club forward as quickly as possible.
How many players do you think you need here?
We had last year, a stat came out, Brentford used the smallest number of players throughout the whole season. I think we used 24 in total. So we prefer tight, lean squads, because players have to have a pathway. They have to see the first team. There's nothing worse than players training hard every day and not having any sniff of the first team. So our job is to get that number right, get the balance right, introduce young players when it's appropriate. They have to be good enough. If we can promote young academy players, fantastic, but they have to be good enough to add value out there.
Will you be bringing Lewis McLeod back, or looking to do that?
We'll look at various players and see what we can do.
Mark, what type of football philosophy will you adopt at Rangers?
We like players who dominate football. We like players who enjoy possession. It's not the right way, it's our way. You know, if you're a long ball and then you win trophies, and good luck to you. But we prefer to have players who are comfortable in possession, enjoy the football, play through the thirds and look to create chance to be positive, not force the ball, not to give it away cheaply. That's our style of play. And hopefully it's good quality, fast pace and productive.
There's obviously been a thing about trying to get season tickets, fans to get back and buy season tickets. What would your message be to those fans?
I think we're going to look to play the game how we want to play it. We think our job is to fill that stadium. Really simple. If we had one clear remit, it's fill that stadium, and to do that is to play the game in an attractive manner which excites the fans. If we can do that, then David and I have done our job.
Mark, you spoke about the accent and youth and how you love young players, but Davey was legendary around here for playing till he was fairly long in the tooth. You're looking to bring in experienced players as well?
It's about the balance, as I say. It's whether it's 1 or 2, whether it's 3 or 4 senior players. They have a key role to, again, on and off the pitch. The mentoring role, you know, good habits to the younger players, how you conduct yourself, how you rehab in the gym, how you work. Everything about them has to be important, and getting those decisions right will be vitally important for us.
In your previous career, you've been familiar with risk and reward. Do you think Rangers are maybe taking a risk, albeit a calculated one, in your point?
I hope very much that we have the attributes, so we've shown we've had the attributes that can help to take the club forward. That's our job. If we get it wrong, you will know soon enough. Our job is to come in here now, the work starts today, and take the club back to where it needs to be.
Right, just going back to your targets, have you been told by Dave King that you have to win the league here this season?
We become any competition you enter, you have to go to win it. Simple as that. Whatever cup, whatever league, you go to win that relative competition, and that's our aim. So to come in here now, do what we have to do, work closely with everyone at the club here, and take the club back to wwhere we think it deserves to be.
Will your management style be a bit different to Jock Wallace's?
Yes, I hope so. In a very respectful way, I say that.
Paul, as far as you're concerned, with regards to the management structure, are you quite happy then with that? You talked about a director of football potentially being something that you'd want to move the club forward towards. Obviously, the academy structure needs to be sorted out. Is this the way that you're set forward, or do you think there could be more appointments down the line?
Well, I think this is the first step in obviously rebuilding the football part of the club. I mean, obviously you used the expression about the club being broken. And we need to obviously rebuild the football side of things, and obviously Mark and Davies' appointments is step one in that process. We've been talking this morning actually about clearly the focus of any football club is the first team. The first team really, the success of the first team drives all the commercial activities. It drives the kind of the ethos and the kind of heartbeat of the club. And what we've got to do as a board is provide Mark and Davy with the resources and the support to support the first team. And that's everything from scouting through to medical science, through to player development, through to the academy. So all these roles will have to be looked at. We'll do it in conjunction with Mark and Davy. Actually, Mark's experience, apart from managing Brentford, obviously previously running the youth academy at Watford, and also director of football at Brentford for a short period. So Mark's got a kind of wider role of a wider view of a football structure than just simply being the first team manager. So we'll obviously draw on that experience. We'll have a discussion about that, but we're open-minded. And as I said before, we want to build a modern football club, but one that's competitive and can move forward. So that's still the plan.
It's already
Two more questions.
I was going to say, it's already the middle of June. How soon can we see bodies in the door, because the first competitive game's in 5 weeks?
Yeah, but we have to move quickly. Now's a busy time, and so players are away on vacation and agents are working, etc. Our job now is to target the right individuals and go through the process and see if we can secure them.